What would you do if the people meant to protect you were actually hiding the truth? What if the police officers leading a missing person investigation already knew what happened and were trying to make sure nobody else found out? At first, this looked like a normal missing person case. A young woman vanished without warning. Her family begged for help. The police promised they were doing everything they could. But behind closed doors, something dark was already happening. Evidence started disappearing. Witnesses suddenly changed their stories. Security footage went missing. And anyone who asked too many questions became a problem. By the end of this video, you will hear the shocking secret that exposed an entire network of corrupt police officers. A secret so disturbing that it destroyed careers, led to arrests, and made people question who they could really trust. And the craziest part? None of this would have been discovered if one small mistake had not exposed the whole operation. Stay until the end, because the final reveal changed this case forever. It all started in a quiet town where almost nothing bad ever happened. The streets were calm. Neighbors trusted each other. Most people left their doors unlocked at night. Parents felt safe letting their kids walk home alone. It was the kind of place where police officers were respected. People waved at patrol cars. Children looked up to cops like heroes. Nobody imagined that underneath this peaceful town was something rotten growing in the dark. Then one night, everything changed. A 23-year-old woman named Emily Carter disappeared after leaving work late on a cold Friday evening. Her coworkers said she seemed normal before leaving. She laughed with friends. She answered a text from her mother. She even told one coworker she would be home in 20 minutes. But she never made it home. At first, nobody panicked. Her family thought maybe her phone died. Maybe her car broke down somewhere. Maybe she stayed with a friend. But hours passed. Then morning came. Emily still had not answered her phone. Her mother called again and again. Straight to voicemail. Her father drove around town searching parking lots and empty roads. Her younger brother checked hospitals. Nobody could find her. Then things became strange. Emily's car was found the next morning near an old industrial area outside town. The driver's door was slightly open. Her purse was still inside. So were her keys. Her phone was gone. There were no signs of a struggle. No blood. No broken glass. Nothing. It looked almost staged. Like somebody wanted the scene to confuse investigators. Police arrived quickly. Too quickly, according to some witnesses. One local man later claimed officers were already near the area before Emily's car was officially discovered. Another witness said he saw two police vehicles leaving the industrial road around 3 a.m., hours before the missing person report was even filed. At the time, nobody paid attention to those details. But later, those small details would become terrifying. The police told the public not to worry. They called it an active investigation. Officers searched nearby woods and empty buildings. Volunteers joined search parties. News stations covered the story every night. Emily's family stood in front of cameras begging for help. Her mother cried while holding Emily's childhood photo. Her father looked exhausted after days without sleep. The whole town watched and waited for answers. But behind the scenes, cracks were already starting to show. One detective asked for security footage from a gas station near the industrial area. The owner agreed immediately. But when officers arrived to collect the footage, they claimed the files were corrupted. Gone forever. Days later, another business owner said police never even asked for his security footage, even though his cameras faced the exact road where Emily's car was found. Then came another strange moment. A woman called police claiming she saw Emily talking to someone beside a dark SUV on the night she vanished. The witness gave a full statement. She even described a partial license plate. But somehow, that report never made it into the official case file. When reporters later questioned police about it, they denied the witness existed at all. That was the first moment some people began asking dangerous questions. Why were leads disappearing? Why did reports keep changing? And why did the police seem more interested in controlling information than finding Emily? Then things got even darker. About 2 weeks after Emily disappeared, her family received an anonymous letter in their mailbox. No return address. No fingerprints. Just one sentence written in black ink. Stop asking questions if you want your family safe. At first, they thought it was a sick prank. But Emily's mother became terrified. Her father went straight to police. Officers promised to investigate the threat. But according to the family, police barely seemed interested. No serious follow-up happened. No extra patrols were sent to the house. It was almost like they wanted the family to stay afraid. Soon, rumors started spreading across town. People whispered about dirty cops, about secret payments, about officers working with local criminals. Most dismissed the rumors as conspiracy theories. After all, this was a respected police department. Some officers had worked there for over 20 years. The chief himself often appeared on local television talking about honesty and justice. Nobody wanted to believe corruption could exist there. But one detective inside the department quietly feared the rumors were true. Detective Marcus Reed had worked missing person cases for years. He knew when something felt wrong. And this case felt wrong from the beginning. Evidence vanished too easily. Officers acted nervous during meetings. Reports changed overnight. Reed even noticed that certain names kept appearing in private conversations, then disappearing from official paperwork the next day. One night, while reviewing case files alone, Reed discovered something shocking. A key witness interview had been deleted from the system completely. Not misplaced. Deleted. Somebody inside the department had removed it intentionally. That was the moment Reed realized this was no normal missing person case. Someone inside the police department was hiding something. And whoever it was had power. As Reed dug deeper, he started noticing strange behavior around him. Officers stopped talking when he entered rooms. His desk was searched while he was away. One evening, he found his office computer turned on even though he clearly remembered shutting it down before leaving. Then came the warning. A senior officer pulled Reed aside after work and quietly told him, "Some cases are better left alone." Those words stayed in his head for days. Because now Reed understood something terrifying. Emily Carter may not have disappeared because of a random criminal. She may have disappeared because she saw something she was never supposed to see. And if that was true, the people covering it up were not ordinary criminals hiding in the shadows. They were wearing badges. And before this case was over, the investigation would uncover a corruption network far bigger than anyone imagined. A network connected to missing evidence, secret deals, intimidation, and a cover-up that reached deep inside the police department itself. But the next discovery would change everything. Because investigators were about to find a hidden connection between Emily and one powerful officer that nobody expected. Emily Carter was not the kind of person people forgot. She had a loud laugh, endless energy, and a habit of helping strangers even when she barely had money for herself. Friends describe her as fearless. Her mother called her stubborn. Her younger brother once joked that Emily could walk into a room full of angry people and somehow make everyone smile 5 minutes later. She worked long shifts at a small diner near the edge of town while saving money to move to Chicago and study journalism. She dreamed of becoming an investigative reporter one day. She wanted to tell real stories. Stories that mattered. Stories that exposed powerful people hiding ugly truths. Nobody realized how dangerous that dream would become. Emily lived alone in a small apartment above an old grocery store. It was not fancy, but she loved it. The windows faced the main street, and every morning she sat near the fire escape drinking cheap coffee while watching the town wake up. She knew almost everyone in the neighborhood. The old barber downstairs always saved her the morning newspaper. The woman across the hall sometimes left homemade soup outside Emily's door after late work shifts. She was part of the community. That was why her disappearance hit the town so hard. People could not understand how someone like Emily could simply vanish. But there was another side to Emily most people did not know about. During the weeks before her disappearance, Emily had become obsessed with something she refused to fully explain. Friends noticed changes in her behavior. She seemed distracted, nervous sometimes. She started checking over her shoulder while walking home. She cancelled plans without warning. One friend later told investigators that Emily kept saying she had found something big. But whenever people asked what she meant, she changed the subject. 3 days before she vanished, Emily met her best friend Sarah at a coffee shop after work. Sarah later described Emily as anxious and exhausted. She kept looking toward the windows like she expected someone to walk in at any moment. At one point, Sarah finally asked her directly if she was in trouble. Emily stayed quiet for several seconds before answering. Then she said something strange. "If something happens to me, don't trust everyone wearing a badge." At the time, Sarah thought Emily was joking, maybe talking about a movie or some online conspiracy story. But now those words sounded terrifying. The deeper investigators looked into Emily's final days, the stranger everything became. Her phone records showed multiple late-night calls to a number registered under a fake name. Most calls lasted only a few minutes. One lasted almost 40 minutes. Investigators could not trace the number properly because it bounced through several prepaid phones. Whoever Emily spoke to did not want to be identified. Then police discovered something else. Emily had recently visited the county records office several times during the month before her disappearance. Workers remembered her because she kept asking questions about old arrest reports and missing evidence files connected to local police cases. One employee even remembered Emily getting into a heated argument with a man near the exit. The employee could not hear the full conversation, but he clearly heard the man say, "You need to stop digging before you get hurt." Nobody knew who the man was. Then came the biggest discovery yet. While searching Emily's apartment, detectives found a hidden notebook taped beneath the bottom drawer of her desk. Inside were names, dates, phone numbers, and handwritten notes connected to several police officers in town. Some pages mentioned suspicious arrests. Others described cash payments, missing drugs from evidence rooms, and witnesses changing statements after meeting certain officers. One page contained a sentence written in large black letters. "They are all connected." The notebook shocked investigators. Suddenly, Emily's disappearance looked less like a random crime and more like something planned. Something organized. But before detectives could fully examine the notebook, another strange thing happened. Several pages disappeared while the evidence was being processed. Nobody could explain how. According to official records, the notebook remained sealed inside an evidence locker overnight. But when detectives reopened it the next morning, 4 pages were gone. Again, it looked like someone inside the department was helping cover tracks. Detective Marcus Reed became more suspicious than ever. He secretly copied the remaining pages before anyone else could tamper with them. The more he read, the more dangerous the situation appeared. Emily had clearly been investigating something large, and based on her notes, she believed several police officers were involved in criminal activity. But Reed still did not know how deep the corruption went. Meanwhile, the public pressure kept growing. National news channels started covering Emily's case. Social media exploded with theories. Online true crime groups studied every detail and pointed out inconsistencies in police statements. People began noticing how often officials changed timelines during press conferences. Some reporters even accused the department of hiding information from the public. The police chief denied everything. During one tense interview, he told reporters the department was fully committed to solving the case and called the corruption rumors harmful lies. But viewers noticed something odd during the broadcast. Standing behind the chief was Officer Daniel Harlow, a respected veteran cop known throughout town. And Emily's mother immediately recognized him. She later told investigators that Emily had mentioned Harlow's name weeks before disappearing. According to her mother, Emily once claimed she saw Officer Harlow meeting secretly with known criminals near the industrial district late at night. Emily thought the meetings looked suspicious and wanted to investigate further. At first, her family told her to stay out of it. Now they feared she had gotten too close to something dangerous. Detective Reed quietly started looking into Harlow's background. What he found raised even more questions. Harlow had multiple complaints filed against him over the years. Witness intimidation, excessive force, missing evidence connected to drug arrests. But somehow, every complaint disappeared or got dismissed internally. Even stranger, several officers connected to Harlow also appeared in Emily's notebook. Reed realized this was no coincidence. Then, late one night, Reed received a phone call from a block number. The voice on the other end sounded nervous and rushed. "You're looking in the wrong place," the caller whispered. "The department is dirty from the top down." Before Reed could ask questions, the caller added one final sentence. "They know you're investigating." Then the line went dead. That same night, Reed returned home and found his front door slightly open. Nothing inside appeared stolen, but someone had clearly entered the house. Kitchen drawers were open. Papers were scattered across the floor. And sitting on Reed's dining table was a single photo of Emily Carter. On the back of the photo, someone had written 3 chilling words. "Stop digging now." For the first time in his career, Reed truly felt afraid. because now it was clear. Whoever was behind Emily's disappearance was watching him closely. They knew where he lived. They knew what he was investigating. And they were willing to threaten a detective to keep their secrets buried. But Reed refused to stop, because hidden somewhere inside this growing web of lies was the truth about what happened to Emily Carter. And soon, one witness would come forward with information so explosive that it would threaten the entire police department. The witness came forward just after midnight during a heavy rainstorm. Detective Marcus, the caller, sounded terrified. He kept asking for Reed directly. At first, Reed thought it was another fake tip. Since Emily's disappearance became national news, the department received hundreds of useless calls from people chasing attention. But something about this call felt different. The man only said one sentence: "I saw what happened to Emily." Then he hung up. 20 minutes later, Reed drove to an empty parking lot behind an old grocery warehouse near the edge of town. The area was dark and silent except for rain hitting the pavement. A thin man wearing a hooded jacket stood beside a broken truck with his hands shaking. He looked exhausted, nervous, like someone who had not slept properly in days. His name was Tyler Mason. Tyler worked as a night security guard near the industrial district where Emily's car was found. At first, he refused to sit inside Reed's car. He kept scanning the parking lot like he expected someone to appear from the darkness. Finally, after several minutes, he climbed into the passenger seat and locked the door immediately. Then he told Reed something shocking. On the night Emily disappeared, Tyler saw 2 police vehicles parked near the abandoned warehouses around 2:30 in the morning. That alone was not unusual. Officers often patrolled the area. But then he saw Emily's car arrive. According to Tyler, she was not alone. Another vehicle followed closely behind her. A dark SUV with tinted windows. Tyler watched from inside his security booth as Emily stepped out of her car. She looked angry. She was shouting at someone near the SUV. Tyler could not hear the full conversation because of the storm, but he clearly heard Emily yell the words, "People deserve to know the truth." Then everything changed. Tyler claimed 2 men grabbed Emily and forced her toward the SUV. She fought back hard. One of the men hit her. Tyler said he almost called 911 immediately, but then he recognized one of the men standing near the vehicle. It was Officer Daniel Harlow, the same officer Emily's mother mentioned before. Tyler panicked. He knew Harlow by reputation. Everyone in town did. Harlow had connections everywhere. Officers respected him. Criminals feared him. Tyler later admitted he was too scared to report what he saw. But after watching the case grow larger every day, guilt started destroying him. Reed listened carefully without interrupting. His heart pounded harder with every sentence. Then Tyler revealed another terrifying detail. He said Emily was not dragged into the SUV quietly. Before disappearing, she screamed something that stayed in his mind ever since. "You can't hide this forever." Moments later, the SUV sped away. One police car followed behind it. The second patrol vehicle stayed briefly near Emily's abandoned car before leaving the area. Tyler said he never saw Emily again. Reed immediately realized how massive this testimony was. If Tyler told the truth, this case was no longer just about corruption. It was about kidnapping, maybe murder. And police officers were directly involved. But there was a problem. Tyler refused to give an official statement.